Mike Tomlin. Is this the year that Mike Tomlin is finally on the hot seat? Or should I phrase it, is this the year that Mike Tomlin needs to do something or he's going to be on the hot seat? I think that's better phrasing. And I like that. I like that approach a lot better. Here's the thing. We talked about this earlier. 2025, this Pittsburgh Steelers have gone on all in. Now, some people define all in as trading high draft picks for people and not giving up, like don't give up Minka, trade a second or third round pick for Jalen Ramsey. I find that's just stupid. At some point, you have to look out for your future. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have done that, but they're still going all in for this season. But what does that mean? Well, they're trying to win a playoff game. 8 years is long enough. It's long enough. And they're making moves in order to win a playoff game. In some people's mind, well, that's all you want to win is a playoff game. That's not all you want to win, but that's a damn start, isn't it? I mean, winning a playoff game. Look, I've told you guys this before. There's got to be building blocks to success. It can't just be here and here. Every now and then you'll luck up and that'll happen with somebody. But when that does happen, they can't sustain the success because they don't have the building blocks of it. They just got lucky and ascended and we're up here. But when things get tough, they fall back. The Steelers are trying to build it. Okay, great. I understand that. But 8 years is enough of not winning a playoff game. So the Steelers are trying to do that this year. They've made moves that say, we want to win a playoff game. Veteran quarterback, veteran corners, somebody in the slot, as another veteran corner, bringing in a veteran second tight end. They are making plays or making moves and maneuvers to win a playoff game. If not, what are the moves for? That would be my question. If the goal isn't to try to win a playoff game, and I know you're going to say the goal should be a Super Bowl, fine. But if it isn't that, then why did you even make the move? Should have just ran out there with Mason Rudolph, didn't trade for Jalen or John O, and just, this is the roster. That's not what they did. They're trying to win. And whether it's Super Bowl, playoff game, 2 games, division, whatever, the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to win, and Mike Tomlin's at the head of that. Now, we talked about a hot seat. Is the hot seat warranted? I think, yeah. Look, 5 straight one-and-dones in the playoffs. That's not going to cut it. That is just not going to cut it. And several of those games, the Steelers have gotten their ass kicked. That's the difference. I'm going to be mad that the Steelers lose. I don't care how they lose. I'm going to be mad. But for you not to even be competitive in, I want to say, 4 of the 5 playoff losses, that's disgusting. The 4 of the 5 one-and-dones, you weren't even competitive. That's disgusting. And that's what I'm talking about. That right there. So, call it what you want, say what you want, but enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's time to win. Look, the 9-8 seasons, the 10-7 seasons, hell, even an 11-6 season. Sure, I'll be happy with 11-6, but if they don't win in the playoffs, it doesn't mean anything. Look, I am tired of hearing about the record or the streak of not having a losing season. Is it impressive? Yes. Has Mike Tomlin done some things with some football teams that should probably only win 5 games in a season? He absolutely has. Absolutely has. But okay, fine. He's a good coach. But what else? When are we going to start seeing the results? And I think that's what a lot of people, when it comes to this, is like, all right, when do we get to stop struggling? We're talking about this rebuild, and I've said it many times. The Steelers are the only team that I can think of that has gone through a rebuilding phase that has still won enough games and remained relevant. So because they do that, it takes longer for the rebuild to happen. Well, damn it, we need to start seeing some success from the rebuild. You rebuilt both offense and defensive lines. Where's the success? You're rebuilding the tight end room. We need success. You rebuilt the linebacker room. We need success. You're in the middle of rebuilding the wide receiver and cornerback room. We need success. That's what fans are upset about. It isn't that we're going through these things. Normal and sane fans understand that you have to rebuild. They get it. But how long does that take? Number one, I know it's going to take longer when you don't try, not necessarily tank, but when you don't go all in to rebuild, then it's going to take longer. The Steelers haven't embraced that. But when's enough? When does it stop? When does it stop? When does the success happen? And look, Mike Tomlin is not blameless. I know a lot of people want to blame, Kevin Colbert, and don't get me wrong, he's got a big hand in this. You want to blame Art Rooney II, but Mike Tomlin's not blameless. Like, who is the offensive coordinator that was hired before Arthur Smith? Now, I know who it is. I just don't repeat his name on this channel. We don't do that here. We don't, because it makes me sick to my stomach that a high school JV quarterback could go out and design just as many advanced plays as what that guy was doing. It was sickening. Mike Tomlin hired him. He didn't have to. Nobody held a gun to his head and said, you have to hire that guy, but he did it. He's run off good coaches. He's done that. So Mike Tomlin is not blameless in this. And as far as putting a roster together, team success, he's in it, man. And so, yes, to me, 2025 has to end in a playoff win. That is what success looks like, a playoff win. If anything short of that, he deserves to be on the hot seat. It's just that simple for me. All the 9-8s and the 10-7s, and like I said, give me an 11-6, but that needs to come with a playoff win. Otherwise, it didn't mean much. And I'm not saying, look, it is hard to win in the National Football League, people. It is so hard. And Mike Tomlin continuously does it at a winning level. And when I mean a winning level, above 500 level. He does that. But is that all you want? Is just above 500? Again, at some point, we need to start to see some success. And this needs to be the year. And the Steelers have done things to make this be the year. If you can't win it and you can't win in the playoffs now, then yeah. I'm not saying Mike Tomlin needs to be fired, but that seat needs to start heating up because now we're not seeing the success. So then what was the rebuild for? Yeah, we're still in it. We're still moving. But teams that rebuild, you start seeing them have success. The Steelers got to have that too, people. They got to have that too. Let's go to the poll question. With the nature of this offseason's moves, do you think Mike Tomlin has put himself on the hot seat for 2025? A, yes, it's all or nothing this year. B, yes, but we still have to leave. He will still have to leave on his own terms. C, no, but it will be the next for sure. It will be next season for sure. And D, no, Mike Tomlin will never be on the hot seat. There's a lot of people that believe that he will never be on the hot seat. Make sure you put 4 in front of the number that you are answering so you know so we know exactly what poll question you are answering. Now, look, we talked a whole lot about Steelers being all in for this season and the changes that are made. I think the changes are good. You can disagree with that, and that's okay. But the Steelers are doing things outside the norm. For years, we as fans have been screaming for the Pittsburgh Steelers to make splashes doing something. We don't always have to agree with the splashes, but at least they're doing something by saying what we have and what we have done is not good enough. We got to make a change somewhere to get better. It's all we can ask for. Now, it can blow up in their face. Absolutely. We don't have to like it. Absolutely. But at least they're doing something. because for so long it was, well, we're not doing anything. It's the status quo. We're not trying to move forward. We don't have any forward thinkers. Well, now it seems like maybe we have a couple of forward thinkers. Maybe the philosophy has changed a little bit. We got to do things that are a little bit outside of our comfort zone. And when I mean I mean fans' comfort zone, because for so long the Steelers had ingrained us with exactly how they're going to do things. And now it seems like, nope, we're going to do things a little bit differently. They just ripped the Band-Aid off. Okay, I'm with it, but I need the success. I need to see it. And I think that's partly part of the problem for Steelers fans is that we're cautiously optimistic. We're jaded. Let's just call it what it is. We're jaded. 8 years, no playoff wins, 5 one and dones. We're jaded. And now we got to figure this thing out. And we've just made some moves that, for all intents and purposes, are risky moves. And if they don't pan out, could be trouble. Could be trouble. Look, I appreciate you all, man. That's what I got for you today. Thank you, as always, for being a part of Steelers Almighty and supporting us the way that you do. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate you. We love you guys, and aloha.